Okay, so good morning, all the way from Guadeloupe. If you see that the scenery is a little different, it's because I am obviously not home. I am in Guadeloupe making this recording while I'm there. This week is Haitian Flag Day on May 18th. So by the time this recording is out, the Haitian Flag Day would have already been passed. But I wanted to do this recording this week because of what I'm going to talk about. And so before we start, I want to jump into a couple verses that I want to share with you guys as part of the discussion that we are having. So the first verse, proverb, is going to be Proverb 13, verse 2, the first part, and then Proverb 3, which reads, "From the fruit of their lips, people enjoy good things." And then 3 says, "Those who guard their lips preserve their lives." I'm going to talk about the Proverb 18:21, which is, "Life, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." So I wanted to start with those two verses. And now, usually we talk again about business and everything godly principles within businesses, right? But if you had a chance to watch my last episode, I had the opportunity to have a great conversation with the founder of Grown in Haiti, who is doing some amazing works in Haiti. He's one of the few people who are actually working to make a difference in Haiti without the expectation of money. You know what I mean? And those nonprofits that we all so love to criticize, especially if you're Haitian. But today I wanted to talk about a very specific subject, especially to my fellow Haitians who address themselves as Christians, who confess to be Christians, who believe in the power of God. I wanted to talk to you guys, especially this week, given that it's Haitian Flag Day. Again, by the time you see this, Haitian Flag Day would have just happened, right? So I wanted to have a serious discussion that I often find myself having with other fellow Haitian Christians. And the reason why I'm specifically talking about Haitian Christians is because of the conversation that we're about to have. But before we go any further, my name is Anne Jean Pierre, and if this is your first time here, welcome to the Godly Business Podcast, where we discuss sales fundamentals with biblical principles. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Please subscribe, leave a comment so we can get the conversation going about how to conduct business biblically. So without further ado, I'm going to go into the conversation that I wanted to get into today, which is different about business, but those principles still apply to business, and that is the power of the tongue. One of the many things that I've observed in not just Haiti, but in the Black community, in the Afro diaspora, in the Caribbean community first, especially with what's going on in Haiti, I have heard a lot of people say we need to pray for Haiti. We have to pray for Haiti. We have jeûne and we have fasting and all of those things. One of the things God have shown me time and time again is that it doesn't matter how much I pray if you don't believe. And if your words doesn't align with that, it will not come to pass. So there are a few different verses that I'm going to discuss. But the first thing I wanted to bring about is the fact that, unfortunately, the same people who often have or want to have a prayer meeting or, pray over Haiti, as soon as the prayer is done, the next words out of their mouth is often that Haiti pap changer, Haiti will never change, things like that. But yet you just prayed and said, God, please change Haiti. God, save your people. All of those things, right? But then you go again and speak evil against it. And the Bible clearly says this is why I started with those verses, it says there is life and death in the power of the tongue. So if there is life and death in the power of the tongue, why are you spraying and spreading death into the same thing that you just advise that you care about? So that's the first thing. The second thing, I don't think people understand how strong the even though the Bible clearly says there is power of life and death in the tongue, I don't think people understand how strong that is. And one of the verses I want to bring about is verse Matthew 12:36-37. And this to me was kind of like shocking and really a revelation of how much we need to take our words seriously. It's Matthew 12:36-37. And I'm sorry if you hear background noise. I'm on the first floor facing the parking lot. So as people park, you may hear conversation and things like that. So I apologize ahead of time. All right, so Matthew 12:36-37, it says, "But I tell you that everyone will give an account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken." For every empty word that you have spoken, you will have to give an account to God. That to me is already, listen, okay? First of all, the first thing I did, and I suggest you do, is to repent. Repent and ask God for forgiveness for using His word, for using your word for using empty words, right? For using empty words and going against what He says that you should do with your words, because He says, "For you will be acquitted by your words, and you will be condemned by your words, or you will be condemned by it." Right? So your words have power, and every single thing that you say, you will have to give an account to, because not just bad things, right? Because it says, because of your words, you will be acquitted, or you will be condemned because of your words. So why am I bringing this up with the whole Haitian culture and the biblical aspect of things? I love Haiti. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a natif natal pays m'se nakem, right? Like, I love my country. And I cannot stand when people are, all they have to say is everything that's negative. And every time you bring, first of all, most people, I've listened to so many different Haitian podcasts, Haitian talk shows, and even some YouTubers, not all of them, but a lot of Haitian YouTubers that are bringing the news from Haiti. Some are just giving you the news, giving you the facts, and that's it. But a lot of them are giving opinions that are very negatively charged, right? And I understand there is a lot of negativity going around in Haiti. Yes, there is. We are understanding of that. And at the same time, there is also a lot of good things coming out of Haiti, such as the project that Grown in Haiti is doing, one of many other projects, right? There are people, millennials like me, like you, who is watching, even if you're a Gen Z, millennial, Gen X, baby boomer. You can go to Haiti and make a difference. If you say you can't go, there is a way for you to make a difference. Why not, instead of complaining about all of the issues, what are some of the solutions that you yourself are offering as part of the conversation? I believe that what you expect is what you will receive, right? So if we are moving in fear, which the Bible gives us over 360 verses about not fearing, and yet we want to move in fear when it comes to our country. At the same time, people are moving to our country, owning our land, taking what's rightfully ours, living their best lives in our land, and yet we are afraid to go back. We are being told that it's not safe, that you will be robbed, that they could kill you, and all of those things. I'm not saying that some of those fears and concerns are not based on reality, and that some of them are not valid. But this is also speaking from someone who has not been in Haiti in a few decades, right? So where are we getting these messages from? First off, are we getting them from the news in America? Are we getting them from other Haitians who've traveled back and forth to Haiti? Are we getting them from people who also, like us, have never stepped foot in Haiti in decades? Where are you getting your sources from that Haiti is not safe, that Haiti doesn't deserve our actual active participation in making it better? The other thing I want to bring back is we have all, I don't know if we all, but a lot of people have been paying attention to what's going on in the Sahel region of Africa between Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. And even I think, I can think of the name right now, but two other countries that are pretty much aligning more and more with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, right? So you have a lot of movements right now for independence, true independence, decolonization for real, right? We have a lot of those movements happening in Africa where people are waking up and demanding more, doing more, and millennials and Gen Zs like us are taking up the streets and trying to make a difference. And the world is watching, and Black people everywhere are raising their hands, clapping loud in affirmation of what's going on. So happy that those changes are occurring. And at the same time, for the Haitian community, when are we stepping up? Now you could say, okay, like you talking right now, you in Guadeloupe, you live in the United States. What are you doing? What I'm doing is spreading messages, highlighting people who are making a difference, talking to other people who are like, hey, these are the resources. What can we do? So what I'm asking you is challenging you today in the light of Haitian Flag Day is, what can you do? What are you doing? What can you do besides waving the flag and drinking and having a blast on Haitian Flag Day and then moving on? What can we do, guys? Is there an organization that we can support? Can we volunteer? If you are able and willing to go to Haiti, can you go there and be part of it? Honestly, I'm not going to devolve everything that I'm trying to do until I do it, and I'm going to share. But it is time for us to really take charge and be realistic with ourselves. Because a lot of us say, I bleed blue and red. It's in my blood. Zo Pao. You have all these Haitian tattoos and all of those things and everything. But are we just talking, or are we doing something? Guys, this is a call to action. This is a call to action. Let's do more than just talk the talk. And for every radio station and every podcasters and every influencers and every TikTok person that, while I don't partake in it, most of what I see is just zen. Right? It's just regurgitating a narrative, and we don't question where that narrative came from. Let me tell you something, and I've talked about this on the podcast with Grown in Haiti, and you could go back to watch it if you have not, right? But are we not questioning why are so many people interested in our land? Why are they so eager for us to leave certain parts, specifically certain parts in Haiti? Why are they encouraging us not to go back? Why are they encouraging us that it's dangerous, it's this and that? But from what I've heard from people who go to Haiti all the time, the airplane is full of foreigners, sitting and relaxing at the beaches and at our beaches, right? So I'm not here to vent. I'm not here to guilt trip anybody. But I do want us to be realistic as to when exactly are we expecting Haiti to change. Because most of the conversation is like, I'm going to wait until Haiti gets back to normal, until Haiti gets better for me to go back. How does Haiti get better? How would you want Haiti to get better? What strategies are you thinking is going to get better? By foreigners owning on all our lands, all the businesses, and us being an economy slavery again? How are we getting better? And why are you waiting for someone else to rescue you, to rescue us, to rescue our motherland? So the other verse that I wanted to share, and I didn't write it down, so give me a second. But it talks about belief, right? If you don't believe, then nothing will take place, right? And let me see if I can find it exactly where it is. And that to me was also very sobering, because we do things because we believe something is going to happen, right? We believe there's going to be a change. We believe that we can make a difference, and so we do. So my question for you is, what are you believing for Haiti? What are you believing for Haiti? If you are honestly search your heart and think about, what is it that you believe? Do you believe that it will never change? And if that's what you believe, that's okay. I can't change your belief, but I do want to know why you think it will never change. And I want you to question that. And is there a part of you that may be able to change that? Guys, it's time for us to literally change not just our perspective, our narrative, our belief, our circle, but most importantly, our words around the narrative of what's going on in Haiti. I have hope for Haiti. I have very high hopes for Haiti. The issue with the canal on the border of Dominican Republic and Haiti, how we came together, shows me that we can make a difference. The issue with Wakale, when those neighborhood people stood up against those gangs, that tells me we can come together to fight for Haiti, to fight for what is right. And before you say, before I do something, people are going to XYZ, they're going to do ABC, I'm not trying to lose my life, and I'm not trying to do all of this. I wonder where we would be, where the world would have been if Toussaint and Dessalines had the same mentality that we have today. One of the subjects that we talked about on that episode was something that we talked about, and I feel like is one of the reasons why we are so complacent, is the United States have made us lazy. Yes, it's made us lazy, and the fact that we rather conveniences and our comfort versus any minor inconvenience. Don't believe me? See how you react if something as simple as, like, I don't know, your washer and dryer breaks. How does that affect you on your everyday life and everyday basis, and how much you freak out? And how it affects you. Right? Versus most people in Haiti, like 99.9 people in Haiti, don't have washers and dryers. Your internet goes out and you just over, like, oh my gosh. I understand it's different if you're working from home. I get it. But we are so used to those conveniences that any inconvenience to our everyday life becomes like a world a world ending scenario for a lot of us. We become spoiled brats. My friend and I, who are also from the Caribbean, we always joke when we hear some of our other colleagues. I was in college at the time, and I remember one of my colleague classmates was complaining and just saying something. I don't even remember what it was, but me and him looked at each other and we started laughing, and we're like first world problems, and that became like our little inside jokes about the things that people complain about here, and how most of the time it's like, wow, you have no idea how good you have it until you don't have it. Let me tell y'all something. I am in Guadeloupe right now, right? And I'm not sure if you can see this window. There's a film over it for the mosquitoes. There's no glass. This is just the thing that, turn it on, open and off, right? There is no central AC. That's why you see a fan behind me here. No central AC, okay? No water heater. This is how most of the world lives. And being here in the simplicity of Guadeloupe, which is in a sense similar to Haiti, right? The simplicity of it. And when I walk around, I'm going to take some pictures and recordings just so you guys see like the I'm more like in the outskirts, like the countryside, if you will, of the landscape, which reminds me so much of Haiti, which like was just at my heart, right? The whole time I'm here. And so the simplicity of everything here. And I feel like because of the conveniences, especially because of social media and like the culture, we have unfortunately adopted this entitlement mentality that things should be a certain way. Let me tell you a funny story. So my husband is here to get some, he's from Guadeloupe, so he's getting some legal paperwork done or whatever for him and my son, right? And so we had an appointment at 9 a.m. We show up and they literally tell us the person, there's not another person, there's not a group of people, the one and only person that we could see is off today to come back the next day. Okay, so we're like, before we go back the next day, we're going to call her, make sure she's going to be there. So we call her. She's like, yeah, I'm going to be there all day today. The same day. Like, we call like around like 9, okay? She's like, yeah, I'm going to be there today. No worries. Come through. Okay, so we go there. We're there by 11 o'clock. She's not there. Now, anyone who's from the Caribbean hearing this, they're like, yep, that's sounds about right. The American side of me, right, was like, what in the world is this? This is ridiculous, right? But it's like, things are set up differently here, right? So each have their pros and cons. But I'm bringing this story up because I'm like, priorities are different in other places. And people choose leisure life, going to the beach, eating mangoes on the side road, versus versus that whole keeping up with the Joneses attitude and having more stuff. And I will do a whole nother video about the things that I've noticed in traveling outside of the United States, especially in South America, and the things that I've noticed more about other people and how they value their time more than things. But that's a whole nother subject. But please, I want us to really think about what is it that we're doing? What is another thing that we can contribute to our country besides posting Happy Haitian Flag Day and wearing, dripping in red and blue? What are we doing for our country? How can we help? How can we make a difference? How can you partner with an organization that is actually doing something and trying to make a difference and making a difference that actually makes a difference? And part of the conversation we had was, and the fact that he noticed that one of the initiative that he was trying to make in Haiti was actually doing the reverse. And this is a conversation that I feel like we got into a lot of things that I wish we had more time to discuss and delve into. So please go watch that video with Grown in Haiti, who is, on the grounds in Haiti. But I really hope you have the opportunity to listen to it. But one of the conversation that we talked about that is very, very that got me excited, right? And the reason why it got me so excited is because this is a conversation I have all the time with Haitians, Americans, whoever, right? And this is the concept of progress, and the concept that what we defined as progress, right? Because a lot of times I feel like we look at certain technology, for example, right? And that technology makes something easier, but it costs us something else. You may think of social media, right? Yes, it makes it easier for me to potentially connect and see what an old friend is doing with their lives. That you could say, oh, that's progress. However, with that comes the negative side of that, right? With the negative side of feeling insecure because you are seeing other people that now you have to put measures. People are becoming addicted to social media, literally, right? And all of those things that are negatively impacting us. So I think when we think of progress and making a change in Haiti, that is something that we really have to consider in thinking of that. Like, how are my decisions, how is me helping Haiti going to help, right? So we talked about, sometimes you give somebody money, right? And then the expectation is that you will always give them money. So now you have created this entitlement mentality, right? And this is one of the conversations that Republicans have all the time with the welfare state and things like that, about the entitlement that some people feel when they get money all the time, and they then don't feel the need to have to work. Is that everybody? Absolutely not, but they do have a point. And we touched on this subject too when it came to USAID, which was a U.S. aid that was going to multiple developing countries and third world countries to help, but it was actually a choker. And it was a bribe payment to government officials and things like that. So a lot of things that people are seeing as potentially being a positive things, oh, you should do XYZ, you should do ABC. We need to look into what are some of the negative impacts that are affecting us. One of the specific subject we talked about was in our conversation was, developing roads or something like that, right? But I think one of the issues is, and I see it unfortunately with Burkina Faso as well, and I see it with a lot of developing countries, and trying to give people housings, right? Like people who are in the slums, having no safe housing, safe drinking water. So we're like, hey, we're going to build tall buildings and house people and give them these things. And then unfortunately what ends up happening is we create new ghettos, right? And you see this throughout history and in certain parts of Europe, obviously the United States and things like that. So my thing is, we have learned, there are other countries who have made certain mistakes in trying to provide abundance of affordable housing, and then unfortunately create a scenario of these sections of the society that are isolated and now becomes a ghetto. So we have seen those things. So in developing our country, those are some things that we have to keep in mind, like what worked and what didn't work. What are some of the things that we need to learn, and do we need to even apply some of these things in our country? How is our country different from others? Right? Do we need, 20-story buildings? Like, do we need that? Probably not. Haiti has about 13 million people, right? Give or take. So I think we are able to provide housing in a way that's not going to create those scenarios that we see abroad. So, in conclusion, guys, let's see how we can really try to make a difference in Haiti. I hope you had an amazing Haitian Flag Day. I hope you enjoyed it. I do want you to party and have fun. But I also want us to start moving away from just saying we're Haitian, wearing the flag, and that's all we do as Haitians, and not contributing back. It's time to be the roots that Toussaint Louverture talked about, that he was hoping for. The roots that will grow back Haiti. That tree is dying, guys. It's time for us to go back in any capacity, do something, anything other than celebrating, drinking, and waving the flag. So that was my call to action today. That was my prayer and my Happy Haitian Flag Day discourse to just call us Haitians everywhere. I don't know how many people is going to see this. Probably just a few hundreds maybe. But share it. Comment. See, let's have actual solution focused conversations, right? Not just no more fear mongering, no more just spreading the bad news, no more just, if you have nothing positive to contribute to the conversation, do me a favor, do not have the conversation. Have it in your head. Because keep in mind what I said when the beginning of this conversation is that your words have power. It literally says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word is God, and He created everything with His Word. So if He tells us that our words have power for life and death, I beg you, speak life into Haiti. And if you cannot find a way to speak life into Haiti, shut your mouth is all I'm asking. If you can't speak life, at least don't speak death. And I will encourage people who actually want to make a difference, who are like, hey, I have so many brainstorm ideas of what I can do to make a difference in Haiti. I want to do a workshop or a brainstorming session of like, hey, if there's like 15 of us and we come together and we're like, these are some of the ideas that I have. These are some of the ideas that I have. How can we help? How can we, come together? Because there is a lot of call for the diaspora to come and invest in Haiti to some capacity, right? And we talk about it, but so far I've not seen any forums. I could be wrong. If there's one out there, please, I'm interested. Invite me. I would love to be part of coming up with solutions, okay? But if there's not one, like, DM me. Let's find a way to do that. Let's find a way to have conversation and, I don't know, go clean a river and plant some trees we've grown in Haiti. Do a workshop where we teach kids about pottery. I don't care. I just want to figure out how we can go and make a difference. Small, like the conversation we were having. It doesn't matter how small it is. A small change makes a huge difference. So that is all I wanted to talk about. I know I kind of was all over the place. I'm not sorry about it. I hope you can hear my heart. I hope you can hear my concern. I hope you can hear my passion. Hope you receive it with love. I love you guys. And as I was going to say, there's nothing you can do about it. Just like Tiffany Montgomery. Love her. But, anyways, yes, I love you guys. God loves you. And as always, if you have any questions, ask him because he will direct you. He will teach you and counsel you in the way that you should go. Without further ado, you guys have a blessed day, and I hope you have an amazing Haitian Independence Day. All right, bye, y'all.